If you pick a business name that you're excited about, that you want to protect, it might be time to trademark your business name. Before I dive into that though, if we haven't met before, my name is Caitlin. I run Launch the Damn Thing, something that I am proud of and wanted to protect. And I am a web designer, educator, Squarespace guru, all the things. And today I'm talking with you specifically about a business decision that I made a few years ago to trademark my business name and what that process actually looks like. Before I get too far into this, let me just first preface this by saying this is my experience, my story. This is what my particular attorney told me when I decided to do this. It is probably not a set in stone thing for other provinces, other regions, other countries, other jurisdictions, etc. So if this is something that you're considering, take my experience with a grain of salt. It may be different wherever you are based on your legal rules and all of that stuff. Anyway, this is what it's like in the United States, at least. So first and foremost, this is a federal process, not a state-by-state process. And so it doesn't, to my knowledge, matter where the attorney is that you work with if you decide to work with one. Yes, you technically can do this yourself. I was not of the mind that I wanted to do that. I didn't have the time. I wanted to make sure that it was trademarkable before I went through the hassle. And so I reached out to Paige Hulse of Creative Law Shop. She's based in Oklahoma. I am not. So this is proof that you can work with an attorney outside of where you live, as long as it's also within the United States. So I booked an appointment with Paige and I said, I'm interested in this. What is the process like? How much does it cost? All of the things. And we had a great conversation. So she has her own law firm. She specializes in trademark law. So she knew exactly what to do and was the exact right person to do this with me. And basically she said, if you want to protect your brand, your name, if you want to protect your design, the logo mark, or the slogan and things like that, this is a good process, but it is a separate process for all three of those things. I was only interested in branding or trademarking the name because I might want to change the design of my logo in the near future, and I don't want to have to go to bat with the United States Trademark and Patent Office or Patent and Trade Office. Anyway, it doesn't matter. USPTO. I did not want to do that, and so I decided I'm just going to trademark the name itself, and I don't have a slogan because my name is kind of a slogan, so easy peasy, one and done for me. I don't know if it's different as far as like how much it costs if you do multiple applications, one for the name, one for the logo, one for the slogan, etc., because I only did the one. So this is my experience. Essentially, when I sat down with Paige, she said this process, as it stands when I talk to you, takes 12 to 18 months. Now, it may be 12 to 15 months. It could be 15 to 20 months. It depends on how backed up the office actually is when you actually apply. But basically, expect at least a year for this process. And I can say that is approximately exactly how long it took. So it is not a quick process by any stretch of the imagination. And here's what actually happens when you work with an attorney. I had the free consult with Paige. She told me how it worked. She asked if I was interested, and that if I was interested, she would sick her team of interns or whatever on doing due diligence research first. This cost a sum of money, a few $100s, for them to basically look through all things in time into perpetuity. I don't know exactly where they look for other instances of businesses that are named something either exactly like mine or something similar like mine, and if they're in the same industry, because she won't file your trademark application if she feels like she can't get it for you successfully, which is great. That's an ethical decision that I was very happy with. So we went ahead with the due diligence. It took about 6 weeks for them to comb through that. She did tell me that my particular results came back with a lot less than what is normal. And what is normal is thousands of pages or something. Maybe I misheard, but it was a lot. And I can't imagine how they went through all of that information. All said, what came back for me was still over 1,000 results, but none of it was both my name and the industry. So here's why that matters. Essentially, what she said was the two business names, let's say there's two that have the same name, they can't be confused with each other by accident. For example, if I'm going to do a very bad example, I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. If across the street from each other, there are two big giant department stores, maybe like Walmart and I don't know, something really close to Walmart, but not Walmart on the other side. Think of it like a Walmart and a Target, but with really similar names, right? And maybe they also had similar branding and they sell similar things. If a customer was standing in the middle of the road trying to decide which one to walk to, could they mistake one for the other? That's the level of similarity that the USPTO is looking for. I didn't meet that. I was the standalone, so I could successfully apply. And basically what she did is with the due diligence research, she would read through it herself. She would have a finding. She would write up a letter and send me an official note that says, yes, I think you can apply for this successfully, or no, I don't think you can. My result was yes, and so I told her I wanted to move forward. From there, it was a couple $1,000s or whatever the remaining balance was, and she handles the application for you. She submitted that within 48 hours of me telling her to go ahead, and then we waited and waited and waited. So here's what happens. The due diligence process took roughly 6-ish weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, something like that, and then she filed it pretty quickly, and then it was in the system. But what you're actually waiting for once it's in the system is for an examiner attorney to be assigned to your case and to look through and see if there's any objections to allowing you to trademark the name. So because they're backed up, and most of the reason why this process takes so long is because it takes a long time for you to get a person on your case. And so it took, I think, like 9-ish months for someone to look at mine, but they did eventually. They did not, in my case, submit any objections. Sometimes there are. If they turn you down, then the attorney that you're working for can fight that and try to win whatever the objection is. That wasn't necessary in my case. It was easy peasy. It still just took a really long time. Once they approve your application, then they put it into a gazette. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but basically it's some sort of publication that only attorneys see. And basically it's an intent to trademark, and it gives other people a 30-day window to say, actually, I don't agree with this. I don't think you should push this through. And no one objected when it was in the gazette. So I officially got my trademark via a very ugly email. And I mean that like not rude, but like hideous designed in my email that said, you've been approved, here's your number. And then I was like, oh, but I don't get a like pretty document or something. Little did I know. Paige was taking care of that. She actually had one printed and you can see it. Oh, yeah, but this way. Oh, there we go. You can see it on the shelf behind me, that little glass plaque. That's my trademark from the USPTO. And I'm very proud of it. So all said, it was about I don't know, 2-3-ish months between when they actually approved my application. Then they announced they were going to put it in the Gazette about 30-ish days before they put it in the Gazette, and then it had to be in the Gazette for about 30 days. And then after that, when no objections were sent in, then 2 to 3 months after that, I got the final paperwork. So it took 4 to 5 months for that part of the process, even though it was approved for most of that time. So all said, 12 to 15 months, something like that. That's what I would expect. I don't know that I would have wanted to do that myself because I don't know or have the resources to do the due diligence part. And granted, you can hire an attorney to do that part for you, I guess, and then just go file yourself. If you're on a budget, that's probably, I don't know, safe-ish to do. But there is always the possibility that you do something incorrectly and that could potentially invalidate your trademark. I wasn't willing to chance that. So I'm really happy with the way that I did it. And if you need a trademark yourself, I would highly recommend Paige's law firm. You can find her at paigeholtzlaw.com. I'll put the link below in the description so you can get right to it. I'm not an affiliate with her law firm. I am an affiliate with her template shop though. She doesn't have any sort of trademarking anything through her template shop because there's no template for that. You have to go through an actual governmental office to get that trademark. So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you if you're kind of considering the process and you don't really know what it looks like. All said, it might have cost around $2,500. I think it was worth it, but maybe not everybody would. I'm really happy that I have it. I will say though, before I go, that once you have your trademark, it is up to you to police it, which basically means you have to to watch for other people that try to use your name. After I got my paperwork in that box, actually, when I got my plaque from Paige, she sent me a pamphlet that basically said, here's what to do. If you want us to help you police it, we can. And so that's also an option. So you can't just get it and then you're done. You also have to renew it every 10-ish years, and then the office that you applied through can send you the reminders at the appropriate time because you have to do it pretty early. So it's not a set it and forget it thing. So I will say there are a few caveats with it. Once you have it, you have to police it. Once you have it, you also have to make sure you renew it. Anyway, yeah, it's not a set it and forget it thing. I think that's really important to note, but I'm super happy that I did it, and I would highly recommend Paige's law firm. They were excellent, and I was really surprised with the package that they sent me with my document when I got my actual approval. And yeah, it's just a really seamless process, except it just took a really long time, but that was not their fault. So I hope this has been helpful for you if that's something you're considering too. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I don't know if I can answer any questions because I'm not a legal expert, but you can ask anyway. That's all I have for you in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!